Hey guys, I have a question for you. Have you ever gotten an assignment about a month in advance and didn't really start it until a week or a day before it was due? That is procrastination. A week may not seem so bad, but when it gets to a day before something is due and you have yet to start it, it's procrastination. Why procrastinate when you could get your work done earlier and have a lot more time for other activities? Sadly, it's not as easy as it sounds. Procrastination is a bad habit that is very hard to break. According to Brian Dordovic, there are 4 different types of procrastinators. There is the anxious procrastinator, the person that procrastinates to avoid the anxiety that they get from certain tasks. They often plan too much work and little to no downtime. Then we have the fun procrastinator, the person that would rather do anything but their work. Next we have the plenty of time procrastinator. This person thinks that they have all the time in the world, and even though they know they have stuff they need to get done, they continue to push it away. Lastly, we have the perfectionist procrastinator. This person is so critical of their own work that they'd rather just not start. They are too afraid of failing or producing low quality work. Now, I would like to kind of talk about my personal experience with procrastination. In the beginning of high school, I would get my work done the day or the week it was assigned, but this was until my senior year. I was so focused on graduation and other activities, other after-school activities like church or work, that I would push off my work. When the deadline was around 2 or maybe 3 days away is when I would start. When this happened, I would realize that I was so much more stressed that I wouldn't be able to do my best and do as good as I could. But I would realize after the fact that if I would just have gotten it done earlier, I would have had more time to perfect it and get it right and do my best. Now that I'm in college, though, I have been taking my work a lot more seriously. I do still have a habit of thinking I have more time than I do. However, I do tend to get my work done early or at least on time. So, why is procrastination so bad? Well, you can procrastinate almost anything. You could put off going to the doctor, to the dentist, going grocery shopping, cleaning the house, doing laundry, and more everyday tasks. But one of the most common examples of procrastination, however, is schoolwork. Procrastination is described as one of the biggest threats to student success, according to Amy Baldwin. Procrastination can cause insomnia, stomach aches, and anxiety. It can also damage your reliability in the workplace as well as even in your personal life. If I can give you like a little example, let's say you have a project for a work meeting and you don't do your part and you don't really put out as much. This can kind of ruin your, what is the word? It can kind of ruin, I guess, just your reliability. People just don't really go to you as much as they would. And for your personal life, let's say your mom tells you to do the dishes and you say, oh, I'll do them tomorrow or later when I get the time. Next day, and the next day, and it builds up and it starts to smell. You procrastinated doing the dishes and now there's consequences. But when our minds perceive a task to be too difficult, it will look for an easier or more pleasant task to work on, even if that task is a lot more unimportant than the task that you should be doing. Procrastination is associated with anxiety, shame, guilt, and poor mental health, according to Fuchsia Sorois. Finally, procrastination is a bad habit that most of us have experienced maybe once or twice in our life. For some of us, we still experience it, including me. When you procrastinate, you are looking for excuses as to why you shouldn't start your work. Being a procrastinator myself, I decided to do some research and try to convince myself to stop. This is how I found my topic, actually. But today, I am trying to convince you that procrastination is a bad habit that is a lot harder to overcome than you may think.